I love your bold honesty. I appreciate that. I would rather have somebody like you tell me something bad, but be honest, than have somebody sugarcoat some line of crap to me that's not going to help me.
I'm Maggie Yu, MD, and I'm a functional and holistic medicine physician and the creator of the Transform Protocol to turn around any autoimmune disease naturally. If you don't know anything about us, feel free to click the link above or below this video and join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. In there, we have tons of guides and modules and video trainings for you to watch, just like this one, with any symptom or any diagnosis. So go ahead and jump and join in the group. If you're watching us from Instagram or YouTube, go ahead and click the link, subscribe, give us a like, help us with the algorithm. That'd be super helpful. We're going to be seeing an interview with Melissa, and she just recently graduated from our Transform program. She's really classic for somebody who has a ton of symptoms without a diagnosis. She knew that she was ANA positive and had arthritis and a slew of other symptoms, including many of them are hormonally related, thyroid related, anxiety related, and fatigue and weight changes. So I can't wait for you to see how she turned this around. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Born ready.
Born ready. So I am Melissa Inabnet. I'm 43 years old. Just am graduating from the program. I came here because I needed answers because I thought I was dying. I had no help. Knew I had something autoimmune going on, but for the most part, everybody seemed to tell me it was all in my head. Of course, I knew it was not in my head. So this is where I turned to. Know I have some kind of arthritis. Never was privileged enough to get any kind of hard diagnosis. As I said, knew I had some kind of arthritis. I was told about a million things that it could be, but never exactly what it is.
Melissa, what's fascinating about your story to me is that so many people don't have a diagnosis, right? You knew that you had some sort of arthritis, which a lot of people wouldn't even figure it's autoimmune related, but they gave you all the things it could be. So no hard diagnosis.
No.
Many people fall in that category. And I love the fact that you said, I didn't have the privilege of having a diagnosis like many people do. And let's bust that myth. Do you think that you needed a diagnosis, a hard diagnosis, to know exactly what type of arthritis this is for you to get help and to end it now?
No, because the arthritis I knew was just the tip of the iceberg. I had so many other symptoms, and I could not even get my own general practitioner to, run tests. She has a PA that just was like, hey, can I just run like this random blood test? And I was like, sure, why not? You ran everything else. So, and then it was an ANA and it came back positive. And so at that point, we knew that there was something autoimmune. I've had some work in the medical field. So I was like, okay, well, I know, that I have something autoimmune. And then still was like, it's probably just anxiety. It's like, okay.
You were saying that you weren't privileged to have a diagnosis and you didn't need a diagnosis. You already have some vague testing that you already know it's inflammatory and autoimmune, and you're like, that's enough. But you also mentioned that you had a ton of other symptoms. What were some other symptoms? Because this is a really common pattern. People with one autoimmune target of attack or one inflammatory target of attack will have a ton of other symptoms, and they just kind of get ignored or lumped into some special disease.
Exactly. Right. So I had debilitating fatigue. Fatigue to the point where there would be a couple of days I just wanted to lay in the bed, and pain in every joint. In joints I didn't even know I had. I had pain. I would wake up crying in the middle of the night because I had pain in my joints. I had insomnia. I had anxiety. And honestly, I think most of the anxiety was coming from these doctors telling me that, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's in your head. And I live in my body, so I happen to know it wasn't in my head. It was just everywhere else. But it was just multiple symptoms. I was dropping weight at a phenomenal rate and powerless to stop. Just could not stop the weight loss. So I knew I had a lot going on. I had nodules they had found on my thyroid, and I was told, oh, that's common. Lots of people have nodules, just not have to worry about them.
Bullshit.
Hello. That's not common. I know this, and you probably need to check them. So I knew there was something going on, but.
What was your relationship like with the medical profession by the time you were, like 3 months ago, by the time you were ready to join this program?
I had just lost all faith in most of my doctors. I have two. I have a surgeon that I see and my GYN. And at the time I was discovering all this, they were the only two that seemed truly willing to try to help me, but they were limited because this was outside of their field of study. So I was just I started doing my own research. I started reading medical journals, doing my own research on case studies, autoimmunity, trying to figure some of this out. And then I found your program on Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people get it. And it was like, ping, ping, ping. I have this, 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 and this. So it was amazing.
What then led you to join our program?
Well, when I was doing my own research, I actually just happened to come across this one day. It was like transform and autoimmune. I was like, okay, I don't know if this is clickbait or not, but I'm going to click on it. So I clicked on it. And then I started reading some of the comments made by the members on there. And I was like, oh my gosh, so many of these people have the same things I do. And then I started watching the models you had on there of like hormones and food balancing. And it was like a million bells going off in my head. I was like, what is this? We made it happen, and I joined the program, and it has been life-changing.
Where are you now with your symptoms? What are your outcomes right now, just in 3 short months?
I'm gaining weight, which is like achievement, because I'm only 5 foot, and I had got down to like 98 pounds. I weigh 112 now. So it's very exciting, and I get sick of hearing people's like, I wish I weighed 112. I was like, I wish I weighed 120. Okay, so let's not go there. I had no energy. My body was wasting away. And I have grandchildren, I have children, and I just could not be present. My husband and I couldn't do things, so it was difficult. It was stealing my life. I felt like it was stealing my life. But even now, like I said, the weight gain, pain, it's amazing.
What's happened to pain?
So today in particular, my pains may be a 2. Prior to the program, on a daily basis, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 50. Drastically, I can move around. I can move my arms and legs without immense pain. I have appetite, blood sugar. Balancing my blood sugar helped with the insomnia tremendously. I can sleep for anywhere to 5 to 8 hours now. Before, it was like I'd be lucky if I got 45 minutes of solid restful sleep. I've been hypoglycemic for a long time, and so I've always struggled with that. And of course, you always hear you don't eat anything before you go to bed, drink water, flush out your system. And I always did that, and I could not sleep. I was lucky to get 45 minutes of solid straight through sleep. It just was not happening. Once I went into the blood sugar module and started working that's when I started seeing a difference in my sleep. The perfect balance, fat, fiber, protein, and just keep that going all day long. And it really, really works. And nighttime before bed, fat bomb and golden milk. And that's it. That's the magic thing. Fat bomb and golden milk, and then you sleep all night. The mindset I've seen probably, other than the weight, the biggest difference in, because before I literally thought I was dying, and that's all I could think about is the pain and what was happening inside of me, and I couldn't stop it. I could not sit in a room without, sometimes I would just sit there and cry, with all my kids around, not enjoying them, because my mind wasn't there. So now I'm like, I call it, my daughter affectionately calls it embracing the suck. Yeah, it sucks I got this, but guess what? I figured out how to live with it. So it's like, I'm not going to die tomorrow. And if I do, it's okay. It just was my time. But I have found the tools to help heal my body and take the best care that I can of it while I have it. And the mindset is just unreal. So I was just angry, like, why do I have this disease? What's wrong with me? Why do I have to do this? It's like, it doesn't matter why. It's here, but I have the tools and the knowledge to deal with it. And it helps me to be present, because I can go to dinner with my husband and not be terrified to eat or cry because I know I'm going to hurt after I eat it. It's like, I'm going to order that. I'm going to eat it. We're having a good time, and screw everything else.
And I don't think it's embracing the suck or screw everything else, because here's the thing is, you actually have the exact data to know which foods you can eat and can't eat.
Yeah.
And the level of suck, if your pain was 50 out of 10 and now it's 3 to 4 out of 10, that level of suck is minuscule compared to your previous level of suck.
Yeah.
This is levels of awesomeness.
Yes. That is mindset. Flipping it. Yes.
I'm
from
like,
the suck to the awesomeness.
Exactly. Yes. What suck are you embracing right now? You've got your freaking life back.
Yes. And the sense of community is really what's helped with the mindset and the pods. My pod is awesome.
What's your favorite thing about working with me?
I love your bold honesty. I appreciate that. I would rather have somebody like you tell me something bad, but be honest, than have somebody sugarcoat some line of crap to me that's not going to help me. I appreciate the honesty. That has been my favorite thing. That, and you only tell us to use shit that works. Love it. Love it. And it works. It works.
That's a Maggieism. I only recommend shit that works.
And it works. And it works.
And I earned that knowledge through painstaking, like suffering that myself and trying a million things.
Right.
Don't you go try a million things. I already paid for and done it. And now I know what works. And just let me teach you the shit that works.
Right. So that has been great.
Melissa, why did you almost not join the program?
The biggest obstacle for me was the financial investment. And after having such bad experiences with other treatments and medical doctors, I was kind of like, you know, is this a snake oil? Do I want to invest my money? And after being through something like that, you can't help but be apprehensive about anything, because so far nothing has worked. So for me, it was just getting over the hump and saying, really, I'm wasting money on all this other stuff because nothing is working, and why not take a leap of faith here, because I don't have any other options. And it was the best decision I've made.
Was it a hard decision for you to make, or was it a hard decision for your husband to make?
For me, because my husband was just like, anything, whatever we can do to get you better. I mean, there was not a price tag. He's like, no, it's just, you have no life. So you can't put a price on that. But then after I started reading through the modules and watching the videos just on the Facebook page, I was like, okay, there is some substance to this, because a lot of this I'd come across when I began to do my own research. I was like, okay, she's hitting some of the same things that I've been learning. So I was, okay, let me do this. Let me do this.
Well, let's come up with a big example. Adenomyosis, right? The
Right.
only option you had, seeing a conventional doc, a very kind gynecologist, is let's get a hysterectomy.
Right.
I know it's related to the autoimmune, but I don't know how, and I don't know what the hell to do with it.
Right.
What have you learned about adenomyosis, and what are
No.
in this program that's like transformed the way you look at this and could have really changed your treatment options?
Right. So, I mean, I know that it comes from the messed up hormones, and my hormones were truly messed up. So I feel like maybe if we could have got those back on track on time, that might not have been my only option. I know for a fact it would have been. So, that, and I have fibrocystic breasts, which I've had a lot of trouble with, but I've actually not had the pain in my breasts since I'm getting my hormones back on track. So that's a big deal. And I actually get those checked in a week. So I'm really excited to tell my surgeon about this and be like, look what I did. So
with adenomyosis, we know now that it's a specific pattern based on your hormone testing and the modules of the hormones you learned about, and your training with me about your personal results. You learned that this is a specific pattern that not only feeds your uterus and causes the adenomyosis, the thickening of that uterine muscle, but it's also same hormone pattern causes fibrocystic breast formation.
Right.
So you got rid of the uterus. You didn't get rid of the breasts. You didn't get rid of that hormone imbalance and the impact on all the rest of your body. And now you do.
Right. Right.
Not everybody with adenomyosis needs to be treated with a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Capiche? What is something you learned about yourself during this program that surprised you?
I am stronger than I thought I was. And it's okay for me to say no. That's probably the two biggest things.
There are millions of Melissas out there.
Mm-hmm.
Been through the same doctors, the same hysterectomies, the same dead-end roads, the same thousands of dollars in supplements that didn't get results. What would you say to a Melissa out there who's watching right now?
Do your own research. Do your own research. Trust your own body. It doesn't matter if you have a doctor that's telling you it's not real, it's not in your head. They don't live in your skin. They don't live in your body. There are programs out there that can help you. This program can help you, but to trust yourself and don't just give up. Don't give in to the pain. Do your own research. Know your own body. Don't be afraid to grab the help when it is genuine there in front of you.
Boy, I think Melissa's story resonates with so many people because she had tried a lot of things with conventional doctors. She has spent thousands on supplements. I love the fact that her husband was like, hey, we've been spending money on shit that doesn't work. It's about time we actually do something different here. And she's been in our Facebook group for about a year and really was starting to look at a lot of the guides and resources, which are free. And she really felt like that at a certain point, they made the decision together, and she made the decision for herself that I'm worth it. I'm worth these new outcomes. It can't get any worse than this. So a lot of people fall in that boat without a diagnosis, with many diagnoses, but not getting the help and answers they need. She really had to become the pilot herself and no longer the passenger. So thanks for watching this. If you want to learn about how to become the pilot and no longer the passenger in your own complicated health story, join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally, or you can go to our webpage, drmaggieyu.com, click the link to watch training and learn about our 5 pillars approach to our Transform protocol, how to turn around any autoimmune issue around naturally. Thanks, everybody.